Arlington here from howtoditchthebitch.com, and today's video was probably one of the most fun videos I've made in a very long time. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but I had my own weekly TV segment for about 3.5 years on the news here when I was in the fitness industry. And so I went back and I looked at the hundreds of videos that I've made over the years, and just like anyone, I've upgraded or elevated my beliefs. So I'm going to take you through one of the videos that was shot, I think, about 3 years ago, and going to tell you what I would say about some of the stuff now and what maybe I don't necessarily fully agree with, or where I would just sing a little bit of a different tune now. All right, let's watch the video.
And I have to tell you, I am the luckiest man in the world because both my girls are back. Aww. Elizabeth is off for a weekend, and Leanne has been off for 2 weekends, so you're never allowed to be off again.
Okay, deal.
You get some extra Halloween candy.
Okay, good.
There you go. You've been a good boy.
Speaking of candy.
Yeah, right? You have something everybody needs to know, and that's how to eat healthy when you go out to eat.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm a big fan of going out to eat because I feel like anytime you really deprive yourself, it makes you feel like you're on a diet versus just living that healthy lifestyle. So, I mean, let's be honest, we like to go out to eat. It's an experience, it's fun, it tastes better than when we have to slave over and make it ourselves. So.
And it's a social issue as well. You know, I mean, so many people struggle when they're on a weight loss program. How do I go out to eat and still stay on my program?
Definitely. And
Elizabeth is spot on this one. You want to make sure that you get to go enjoy your experience of life with your friends and family and food if you choose to. Here's what I would add in. I would let people know about the ludicrous bitches and the guilt bitches. The ludicrous bitches are the ones that encourage you to commit to something that you know is unsustainable. Like if I said I'm not going out to eat ever, or every time I go out to eat I'm going to only order a salad with no dressing, that I wouldn't enjoy the experience of it and it would be impractical for me in my life. The guilt bitches, let's say I did go out and eat something that was a little bit more decadent, they would make me regret it before I even ate it and make me feel guilty the entire time, and I wouldn't actually get to enjoy it. So I would tell my younger self to remind the viewers to keep that in mind too. Okay, let's go back and see what I actually suggest.
Program.
Definitely. And you know, we were talking about this during the break. It's one of those things where you kind of have to just go in there with the assumption that things are going to have more calories than they would if you were to make them at home. There's additives, there's extra oils and everything. The reason why things usually taste a lot better when we go to a restaurant is because they use butter and the oils and stuff like that we would usually try to leave out at home.
All the stuff that makes it taste good.
Exactly, unfortunately. But there are some ways around it. So one thing that I just suggest is,
okay, I'm about to share some actual practical tips you can use when you get to the restaurant, and they are all fine and dandy, and I still agree with most of what I said. But here is what I would want to encourage you to also see. How do you want to feel when you leave, and what's the experience that you want to experience while you're there? I mean, sometimes when I go to a restaurant, I want to feel lighter. I want to feel more energetic. I don't want it to impede what I need to do the rest of the day. I don't want to leave in a carb coma. You get the drift. But sometimes I actually go to a restaurant because I feel like eating a greasy cheeseburger, and it's a totally different experience and a different intention than when I'm just going to actually get the job done and eat something. So keep this in mind. How do you want to feel when you leave, and what experience do you want to actually have when you go out to eat?
When you go to a restaurant, they're usually very flexible. So if you just ask the server, what's in this, what are my options, you're usually going to have the choice to leave something out, to add it, put an ingredient on the side, and just to kind of cater to what you're going for with that actual meal.
I would also just add that you always have a choice. There is nobody there holding a gun to your head making you eat certain foods.
And also portions, because you know, if you're on a diet and you're looking at portions, probably what you're going to get in a restaurant is going to be a bigger portion than your diet probably allows for. Is that correct?
Definitely, that's very true. And so one of the old, the age-old tricks is just to, if you don't have the ability to kind of say no when you're full, then to put the portion that you think you shouldn't be eating in a box and have it there right away, so you're not tempted to eat it. Sometimes just having it out of sight, out of mind is a big help.
Okay, yes, that is one way to look at it. But going back to how do you want to feel, when it comes to a situation like this, I just remind myself that I don't actually like how I feel when I'm so overstuffed and when I've eaten just because it's there as opposed to when I'm still hungry. So that's just something to ask yourself when you catch yourself eating. Am I eating because I'm still actually hungry? or am I eating because it's just there?
So that's a good idea. Even within the menu, there are words that jump out at you, and they make it sound really delicious. Creamy, crispy, means
definitely. Anytime that you see those words, fried, crispy, battered, beer battered is it especially tough one. You definitely want to avoid those.
Okay, you definitely want to avoid those. I just wouldn't say it that way today. Yeah, if you're looking to slim down and lose weight, you definitely want to be mindful about it, yes. But avoiding it at all costs, that's for you to decide.
Even words that's like sautéed, it sounds like if we were to sauté something at home, it would be a little bit better for you than if you were to see it sautéed in a restaurant. Usually it's got a lot of butter is what, what makes it taste so good. So you definitely want to go for things like...
Okay, obviously I was with the whole low-fat mentality back then when I made this video because I love butter. I use it in my cooking, especially vegetables, because I'll actually eat my vegetables if I cook them up in some butter. So I probably wouldn't say that today.
You definitely want to go for things like the grilled, the baked, the steamed, stuff like that. And in general, just you can usually change things. A lot of places have the option of having grilled or steamed versus the fried.
All very good tips. We will try to utilize those tips when we go out to dinner tonight.
Now, I can tell you right now that video was made when I didn't have the best relationship with my body or with food or with myself, period. And so I was paying attention to a lot of things that I might not pay attention to now, and now I see things differently. But it's never too late to go update your beliefs. And I would recommend that you didn't become so black and white until you actually knew something was good or bad for you, or was right or wrong for you. Everybody's different, everybody's unique, and I recommend becoming your own mad scientist and figuring out what works for you. So I hope you had as much fun watching this video, as much fun as I had making it. So this is Leanne from How to Ditch the Bitch, signing off, and I'll see you next time.